If you are into indie horror games, then it should be no surprise to you who Chilla is. I'm sure if you enjoyed my last videos covering Fears to Fathom, then you have some idea about who the company is. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, to shortly summarize, Chilla is a small game company from Japan that specializes in creating retro atmospheric horror games based around Japan.
Chinese water. Yes.
Where in Japan?
You know.
This company offers a unique horror experience for the user, allowing them to become immersed in the game. Now, I have previously watched others play the game themselves, some of the more popular titles like the Convenience Store, Parasocial, The Closing Shift, etc. And because of that, I will not be covering those today. Instead, I decided to pick out the one that interested me the most and seemed most promising. Now, of course, later in the future, I can cover more Chilla's art games if that's something you would all like to see, but for now, this will work. Today, we are going to be going over their re-release, The Bathhouse. This story dives into a young girl, Maina-san, who works at a bathhouse. Over time, the secrets begin to unveil themselves, leaving you afraid of what's to come. Well, without further ado, let's clock into our shift at the bathhouse. A week ago. So the game starts off with you at the work stand, where we meet the landlord. It's dark and some white noise can be heard. Behind us, the rules for the bathhouse are displayed. These will be important to remember later. On the other side, another poster can be seen, describing our responsibilities while working. At first, it seems overwhelming, but once we start working, this will all begin to make sense. As I moved around the bathhouse, I did notice a little bit of lag here and there, but nothing that ruined the experience. The graphics for this game were at ultra, so I understood the lag. We head into the sauna room and begin collecting the towels, and then we wake up in a bathtub and the phone begins to ring. The person on the phone is someone from the facility who is offering us a job at the bathhouse, allowing us to have our own apartment and get away from the city life we're currently living. We arrive at our rural area and make our way to our apartment. Whilst walking, missing poster signs are spotted around the city. Most wanted, it says. We'll make sure to keep that in mind. Yeah. We try to open our door to our apartment, but it seemed to be locked. So we try to find another. This fine specimen, our landlord begins conversating with us and lends us the keys to our room.
I was shocked, honey. I was in tears almost. And it has a white refrigerator. I was like, oh, not a white refrigerator. Girl, please put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home, honey. Oh, Lord.
We set our suitcase down and head to the bathhouse. Entering inside, the handsome landlord awaits us. He shows us our duties of the bathhouse. First, we collect the money from the customer, then listen to what they need. We grab the items and complete the transaction. Now we make our way to the boiler room, where we can change the temperature of the water. It's important to leave the temperature in the middle to satisfy the customers.
Don't make me pull that face card out.
Girl, what face card?
What face card? This one.
He takes us to the bathtubs and begins to show us how to clean. We grab both the valve key and brush from the closet and drain the bathtub, then scrub. He reminds us to send away any customers who do not follow the bathhouse rules, even if they are already taking a bath. After he leaves, we finally get our first customer of the day.
Hi, Fatty.
Body wash. He goes by the name Futa. Don't you think this place is weird, he says. It makes you feel restless, right?
Yes, Gaga.
Another customer walks in, only needing a towel. He questions if we started working here recently, and we ignore him. Because of this, he says girls are no good, and that a man should be at the desk instead. Okay. While walking around, a monkey can be heard. I'm not sure what that has to do with the bathhouse, but anyways, we continue to check up on our customers to make sure that they aren't doing anything suspicious or...
Do it again!
One more time.
One more time!
Futa states that this man touched his behind, and that people like him lower the quality of the bathhouse. Of course, we kick out the man, and he says that Futa wasn't entirely uninterested. Futa states that he will also be heading home. Wow, talk about a first day, huh?
What's up, AG? It's Twinum. Ah!
Shaver, towel, shampoo for the first lady. Shampoo and shaver for the next. The lady begins to introduce herself, then passes along the mic to her friend. She begins to apologize for her friend's behavior, then mentions that the last girl who worked here looked like us. Her friend says that the girl had suddenly disappeared and continues to drag us. Hi sir. Shaver, he says. He starts off the conversation by introducing himself as Ray and asks us where we live. Instead, he decided to figure it out, guessing that we live in the apartments nearby and that he'll make sure to drop by. During this, I got distracted and completely forgot to check up on the temperatures and got knocked twice for not doing so. So that's pretty great. So far, I've gotten the hang of things, so taking orders should be a breeze. This customer becomes upset because we did not answer where we are from and says that we should be more considerate. Then begins bad-mouthing some woman that came in before her.
What'd I do?
Another customer comes in and she begins to talk about the guy who came in earlier. He's totally my type, she says. You felt the aura at least. But isn't it illegal for him to be in the woman's side? He appears not to be on the woman's side. The same girl decided to change into a swimsuit, and for that we had to unfortunately kick her out. While assisting this customer, we question whether the child is under 7 years old, and she corrects us, saying that he is allowed.
Hi.
Our shift finally ends. Landlord comes in and reminds us to work properly tomorrow, since we did have a few mistakes during today's shift. We finish off the night cleaning and then taking a bath. The little boy from earlier runs towards us to warn us about a spirit in this bathhouse. We tell him about his mom, to which he replies, "I don't have a mom," then runs off. Now we get back to cleaning. While cleaning the women's section, someone calls our name from the other side. She says that she's employed here and that there isn't enough buckets. So we pass her one. We get back to cleaning, then take a shower. Once we finish, the lights go out. We step into the men's section and we wake up in our apartment confused about yesterday. Moving the dresser to the side, we can see a peephole that shows us the room next to us, with freshly eaten apples, meaning that someone still lives there. Landlord mentions the pale guy from yesterday, saying that he more than likely had too much to drink. As for the monkeys, those are apparently common around here. Monkeys are everywhere. Everywhere. He goes over our mandated tasks for the night, then mentions Kichi. He's a good friend of his, so it's important that we leave a good impression. We get our first customer of the day, who already complains about how slow we are.
I'm going to beat you.
Our next customer begins to comment on our body, saying that we should gain weight. And on top of that, he says women need to be perfect in house cleaning and child care. He wants us to be his woman.
Please, just give us a break. Please just give us a break.
While walking around, we spot the man walking up to the boiler room, then pausing. No time for this. We have another customer to service. This customer is one of the few normal ones we've had in a minute. Checking up on the same man, he stumbles on his way out. Not sure what happened with him, but that's not my business. A camera flash can be heard, and of course he's taking pictures. We ask him to leave, and before that, he flashes one last picture of us. I guess he didn't like us. Mima comes in complaining about how we got hired instead of her. We won't last 3 days, she says. We'll see about that. We continue to do our tasks, checking on the temperature and the customers. Let's see if Mima needs any help. Oh my...
I can't believe you've done this.
Moving on. Why, hello there. This customer appears to be timid and requests for a towel.
Arigato.
Wet wipes, body wash, towel, shampoo. Wow, she seems quite excited for this bath. When walking back to the reception desk, some legs can be seen. Work faster. So far, our shift seems to be going well. No mess ups so far. That is until... This guy sure looks familiar. Walking around, the short man was found in the woman's side of the bathhouse. I'm so short, so I'm the same as a kid, he says. So far, we have messed up 2 times. The mysterious madhead came in, then left. Coming back to the stand, the landlord's friend, Keiichi, comes in. Making our rounds, Keiichi requests to have his back washed. And like the good worker we are, we wash his back. He begins conversating with us, saying this place is owned by his company, and that the owner isn't the most reliable. He offers us a position to work with him, saying he would treat us very, very well. No. Of course, he gets upset and threatens us, saying how easy it would be for him to harass us. Then, all of a sudden...
Clap if you care. All right, let's move on. Perfect.
Landlord comes in asking about Keiichi, and we tell him about how he was acting unusual. We grab our cleaning supplies, then get to cleaning. Smoke appears to be coming from the boiler room. We must check it out. A lady left a necklace inside the fire pit. Then the landlord appears behind us, saying he'll fix the boiler. In the meantime, we take a bath. A rubber ducky spawns next to us, and the same woman from yesterday asks us to throw the duck back. This repeats while the duck begins to grow hair.
You thought you ate that?
Now we wake up with second thoughts about accepting the job. Let's see what's behind this hole. The apples seem to have been bitten. Interesting. A visitor appears.
Hey, it's me, Jerry Star.
Let's have a tea party with the landlord. We begin conversating about the spirits we've been seeing, and he says those are common in a rural place like this. He recommends we try the nearby shrine where the priest resides. The landlord worries for us and insists we go to the priest. We take his advice and make our way towards the priest. We inform him of our issues, saying something about the landlord is off. He subsides that and says that he senses evil wrapped around us, and that it's intensified since arrival. He proceeds to bless us with the Yorozo gods and hands us an amulet. Time to clock in. We walk inside the bathhouse and encounter the repairman who had been finishing repairing the stove. This place, something is, I don't ever want to come back. Never call me here again. Then walks away. Moving forward, we service a customer who seems to be worried since she's meeting a friend who has dementia. Noted. We continue servicing customers and do our check-ins. This man appears to be a Chirate Kesu follower. Its existence is more than a god. Peace in this world is maintained by it. In other words, it is our peace and our tranquility. He offers us a figurine which contains the soul of it, only for 1 million yen. We decline, and he says, "You shall regret this." Chirapin, chirapin. While adjusting the temperatures, the followers had broken and he blames us. We must now suffer. Death is on the way.
Death to all of them.
Next customer claims to be a palm reader. Let's see what he has to say. Oh. The palm reader says that we have a deep connection with this village. It is not possible that we are a local, he says. You've been in physical pain at this bathhouse in the past, and you have strong feelings of resentment and love. We yank our hands back from the creepy man and continue working. The guy from the missings poster comes back, but this time doesn't say anything. He finally decides to introduce himself. His name is Toru, and he's searching for his twin sister, who happens to be living in this village. We decide to ask him if he's the man on the poster, and he begins defending himself, saying someone in this village doesn't think highly of me, and randomly put those posters up. If you know anything about my sister, please let me know, then walks off.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Coming straight from the retirement home comes in our next customer. She seems to be a bit confused.
Huh?
Our next hater comes in, saying he hopes we suffer. Great. The lady from earlier seems to want milk, but unfortunately there is no milk.
Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead.
A shaver for the young lady, please. Sorrow, agony, rage. Despair in the depth of Bathhouse. Alrighty, let's make sure everything is... This customer attempted to drown himself. He felt like dying.
Anyways.
Suddenly, a baby can be heard from the woman's side. This is all his fault. Why did he do this? I was almost pulled by her.
Period.
The mysterious lady then leaves with her baby in hand.
No.
Our shift finally ends and landlord goes over our tasks for the night. After cleaning and finishing our shower, we head into the sauna. The same lady from earlier can be spotted. After pressing our arrow keys a few times, oh my, it's you. And she's brought a friend. Umeki invites us to her supermarket to pick up some milk. I really enjoyed the lighting in this store. It also offers this mini game, which I scored 800 on. Your eyes. She offers us a deal. If we help with the store, she'll give us the milk that we so desperately need. Now we must stock the shelves with these delicious snacks. Not going to lie, this part was a bit tedious to do, but at least they have poxy sticks. After finishing up, we grab our milk, and before we head out, she hands us an object. 20 years ago, an employee who worked at the bathhouse looked exactly like us. The curse of the bathhouse doesn't seem to work on us. We are being targeted by a strong entity, much nastier than a vengeful spirit, who can't seem to touch us. The object she handed was a Kokishi doll. Farewell, kitty. Now we fill the cooler up with milk, and the dementia patient begins to spaz off. claiming that our bracelet is her daughter's.
What the guy?
We wake with the landlord next to us. He seems to be concerned with us not dying. We inform him about the bathhouse being cursed, and he tells us to push through just for a little longer. Waking up in our apartment, we hear someone ring the doorbell.
Hey, it's me.
It's the priest. He invites us to the basement of the bathhouse. There is a door near the boiler room, and he warns us, do not be seen by the landlord. Alrighty, let's do this. Toru blocks our path and questions if we found information about his sister. We tell him no, then he asks us our name. We inform him, then he walks off. And now we get to the Q&A portion of the game. What human organ resembles a sweet potato? The other questions all seem to be about sweet potatoes. Cool. After answering those questions, he begins to give us a whole rundown of everything that happened within the last few days. The girl got hired by a man who thought they were pretty. Then the girl got stolen by another guy. Then he moves on to his final question. What is going to happen to you? Of course, we'll run away. Those apples sure look familiar. Could it be that the landlord was secretly snooping on us this whole time? We find a shoebox key, which gives us access to room 201. Inside the room, we find the landlord's diary. He goes into detail about why he chose to hire this girl, who goes by the name Yoko, saying that she gives him flirtatious looks. She is into me. Why is she letting those guys get their way with her? I have an idea. I should bring her down into the basement. Seems like a pretty bad idea. The entry progresses and Yoko was taken into the basement where she was pregnant and passed away. I can't stop hearing a woman scream. Even after closing time, I sometimes see a person's shadow. The monk attempted a cleansing ritual, but nothing in the help of the landlord. He claims to have found a way to get rid of this curse. I'll do it myself. We head back into the bathhouse and ring the bell to alert the landlord. And while he's distracted, we make our way to the basement. Once reaching the end, we encounter a chamber. This is where the landlord had kept his previous obsession, and where she passed. We break the hole in the wall, grabbing some scissors and rip open the pillow. From here, we read Yoko's thoughts. It moved in my belly. I promise to protect you. I will not let them do as they please. The priest makes his way down and begins explaining everything. The landlord became obsessed with a woman, leading him to lock her in the basement. He was unaware of her pregnancy and she gave birth to twins, which in turn caused her to pass. The landlord went to the priest for guidance and decided to name the twins Toru and Irena. Toru being the guy from the missings poster signs, and Irena being us. Yoko turned into an Abume and began haunting the landlord. To stop this, the Abume's child must be burned the same age the Abume died. We must run before the landlord discovers us. Or before he drowns us. Now the true horror begins. We must do repetitive tasks before the timer runs out. Finally reaching the end, we walk outside to a blood moon. So peaceful and so beautiful. We sprint back to our apartment, being chased by the landlord, making sure to lock the door behind us. Hair begins to come from the hole. The landlord throws us in the fryer and begins to cook us right up. The landlord was able to get rid of his curse, burning Irena to a crisp. And that was the end of the bathhouse. Well, that was the first ending at least. So the game does offer 3 different endings, which I think is nice since it adds depth to the story, but unfortunately for you to get to the other 2, you must replay the entire game.
Bruh.
It would have been nice if chapters were added, but this was not the case. And as much as I enjoyed my experience playing this game, it didn't give me any replay value whatsoever, especially with how slow paced the game is and how long some cutscenes can take. I was content with reaching my first ending and leaving it there. The bathhouse was a great start for Chilla's art. I personally believe that they should stick with this concept. This was one of the games where I felt invested and was curious as to what would happen next. From the monkeys to the hair growing on the walls, it all seemed so random, yet I was so curious as to how they were connected.
It belongs to me.
If they put more effort into story writing and better gameplay, that would make the games 10 times better. But needless to say, I still give props to the company and will keep tabs on them. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. We did just recently reach 8K subs, so thank you all for that, of course. That is a lot of people, and I'm glad to have you all here. Make sure to have notifications on so that you know when I upload my next video, and comment down below your thoughts. Did you enjoy the bathhouse, or was it the worst game you've ever played? Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later. Farewell.
We